Because people in Congress don't understand technology. Oh, yeah. No, some of that shit was funny. I never made a Facebook account and nobody I know uses it. So what if I do not use my real name in Facebook? It kind of doesn't matter, dude. Like, I don't know what they get off of Google, so mainly Google's a different thing, but they go off of phone locations. Doesn't matter. Like, I'm telling you, it does not matter. There used to be a term like, oh, I'm off the grid. Does not matter much anymore. If you do anything on internet, you're on everyone's grid. You just are. That's like, think about it. All these different sites and shit now, you can like go onto them and they'll be like, oh, you know, you can create an account or you can just link your Google account. Ooh. You don't even need to know a new password. Ooh. You can just create a Google link. Ooh. There's so many things that do that nowadays, but that kind of already works in reverse. What it is they're getting a cut of shit because they're just making it easier for Google to track what you're doing on there. You know what I'm saying? It's not going the way you think it's going. It's going the other way. That link is. You're not linking your Google account to them for them to know who you are. You're linking them to your Google account and Google is giving them a cut of something so that Google knows what you are in that. It's the opposite way around. That's how that works. And then Google and Facebook kind of oppose each other on paper, but not really. They do lots of handoff between each other on a lot of shit. It's like the intelligence agencies. I don't even know why people are surprised by this. Anytime I hear about this and everyone's up in arms, I do not understand why people are surprised by this. This makes sense. I'm not saying I agree with it, but at no point was I ever surprised by this. Most every intelligence agency in the world, most every one of them, if particularly if it's like the CIA and they have a thing where, oh, we only do foreign, we don't spy on local. They work together. They work together. This is kind of known. The Americans work with the British. The Americans and the British kind of work with the French. You know, like they all work with the Canadians or whatever. This is known. There's a name for it. It's like the Five Eyes and shit like that. However, people are surprised by this to figure out that the CIA is, you know, gathering information on Americans. Well, how are they doing that? Well, they buy some of the information from Britain. And Britain, in exchange, buys some of the information from America. So what they do is they do an information exchange at the cost of zero. I'm trading information, so you trade information. As long as this counts as a transaction, you just do a no-cost transfer of information, and suddenly everyone has information on their own people. No shit. I don't understand why people are surprised by that. It's a non-loophole loophole. I'm not allowed to spy on my people, but everyone knows that country is spying on my people, and everyone knows we're friends. Why wouldn't I just ask my friend to give me the information on my people? I'm not technically directly spying on them. Ergo, you can't get angry at me. I cannot be in trouble. There were a couple things that were brought in front of the fucking Congress about this shit, and that was basically their answer. We didn't do the spying. Britain did the spying. We just bought information from them as it pervaded to this case or that case. Again, I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying, how did so many people are flabbergasted by this idea? Oh my God, they're spying on me? No, technically they're not. The British are spying on you. Why is any American surprised the British intelligence agency is spying on them? Everyone knows CIA spies on everyone else. Why wouldn't the British version of CIA spy on everyone else? Do you think America's just like, well, it's Britain, we'll let them be? Or do you think the British agencies goes, that's America. America's been known to work fantastically well with everyone 24/7. Fuck no. They spy on each other all the fucking time. And then what do? Oh, fine, I'll give you this, you give me that. I need information on George Frank down the street. I'm not allowed to look at him. You have any information on George Frank? Yeah, I got a pair of George Franks. I don't know which George Frank's your George Frank. I'll give you your 2 George Franks if you got me a little red book on Mr. RNG strategist. Well, sure. I don't understand why people think that that's a crazy thing. I bring this up because that came up in college. I had a teacher on the privacy thing. That man was blissfully unaware of life. That man was blissfully unaware of life. His big conspiracy was that your phones know where you are. That was his big. You need to learn that everyone is invading your privacy because they can use your phone to tell where you are and what you've been doing. God, that man just. The man is a tenured professor at a college teaching people that their phones track them. That has got to be a blessed life. That has got to be just such a blessed life to have to worry about nothing. His big concern is in 2019 or 18 or 17, whatever year it was, that your phones track you. Holy shit. Hats off to you, good sir. You've won at life. No effort has to be given on your part anymore. Congratulations. Holy crap. Ads. Because the people of Congress don't understand technology, I never made a Facebook account. What if I did not use my real name? Nobody I know uses it. Only a Twitter account that I never use. There you go. You're in. You made a Twitter account. Sucks to be you, buddy. I don't have to tell you. Like, you do something on the internet, you're tracked. Congratulations. Google manages all my passwords. Google keeps asking if I want an Asian bride, and I'm like, well, yes, but also no. Goes for you were currently alive. I still say that by 2040, most apps will end up like TikTok. They already are. They already are. Okay. So, genuinely think about this. For the 2016 election, I'm forgetting the company, but a company Facebook got in major trouble because a company working for Trump realized that if you create a program for Facebook, that you could use the data accumulating part of that arrangement to actually grab information on like everyone. You could just download Facebook servers, basically, is what happened. They got angry at Facebook for doing this. For Facebook for being apparently so insecure that anyone creating a program could download that data. Does anyone really think that the CIA or the FBI or any other intelligence agency didn't already know this? It's not a conspiracy theory. Of course they do. They all have technology whose express purpose is to gather information. They have people who's paid to figure out how to gather information. And you have companies like Google, Facebook, Twitch, Reddit, who are nothing but data gatherers. They're the big targets. Why would I waste hours of my time figuring out how to get information from you individually when in the same amount of time I could get information on 200,000 people from Facebook? They already know this. If you are anywhere on the internet, you're known. That's kind of why I don't worry about half the shit. As soon as you just realize that, well, that cart already sailed, you're free to oppose it. I'm not saying I agree with it, but the idea of, oh, what if they're going to get this information? Stop. Don't worry about that. They have it. You've lost that war. It's gone. Kosoth Astahash Stonecrafter has created Okuntad, a marble figurine of Lorbam Dirt Trade. She claims it as a family heirloom. Okuntad means shrine match, a marble figurine of Lorbam Death Trade worth 18,000 dwarf bucks. This is a marble figurine of Lorbam Dirt Trade. All craftsmanship is of the highest quality. The item is a masterfully designed image of Lorbam Dirt Trade, the dwarf and dwarves and marble by Kosoth Adashast. Lorbam Dirt Trade is surrounded by the dwarves. The artwork relates to the ascension of the dwarf Lorbam Dirt Trade to the position of Queen of the Taut Torch, in the year 1. It is a crest with rectangular marble cabicons, decorated with paradise nutwood and encircled with bands of round marble. On the item is an image of Oodle Beltlance, the dwarf and dwarves in marble. Oodle Beltlance is surrounded by the dwarves. The artwork relates to the ascension of the dwarf Oodle Beltlance to the position of the Queen of the Taut Torch in the year 23. On the item is an image of 3 red squirrels and capybara bone. So yeah, so the idea that most apps will end up like TikTok, really the only difference between TikTok and Facebook is TikTok is kind of publicly addressed that it's owned by the government, whereas Facebook, Google, whatever, if they're not directly working for the government, are just being targeted by the government. If a random company could freely get that information and Facebook didn't notice it was happening, all the government would have had to do is slowly download slices off of it, and you would have had no problem. There was a massive data breach in Target. Target had a massive data breach around the exact same time they were trying to start up stores in Canada. Around the same time they're trying to start up stores in Canada. Massive data breach. Someone had hacked one of their essentially point of sales terminal systems, i.e. the register control system in the store. And what it did is, as people did their credit cards and shit, every now and then it would download a few megabytes just throughout a day. Not a lot, not enough to seem like an unusual amount of data transfer. They just skimmed a little off the top. Don't mind me, just let me get a little bit off the top. Just a little bit off the top. And they used all the information. They just stole a bunch of money. I think they ended up getting caught, but they got all this information off of Target in Target's own data system. And as long as you got time and you're just taking a little bit off the top, you're not going to look that unusual. Now, how fast did that one company have to download all the data to be, let's say it was helpful at all to Trump? Relatively fast. They didn't just have that data lying around. They got some funding and they're like, all right, we're going to do this. That's what happened. The CIA had years. The FBI had years. MI6, MI5, whatever other agencies had years. These companies just give out the data all the time, even when they don't think they're doing it. Everyone is TikTok. It's just, what country do they work for? The idea is actually kind of humorous in terms of TikTok, with the implication that China doesn't know how to do this. The implication is China has to own the company and have the company give them the data. They don't know how to just gather the data. Think about that. If that company could do it, then we just assume the CIA could do it. Is the implication that China never figured that out? Like the idea, the worry over TikTok is that China owns the company, not that China needs to try to hack the company. But all the other countries are probably already doing it. If there's data on TikTok, the other countries, America, England, whatever, are probably already, if there is a hole, there's a hole somewhere. They've probably already done it or are doing it. The only difference is China doesn't have to work more. So really the big argument is China gets to do it for cheap. That's really the big thing. China invested in the company because China's allowed to. So China gets the information for free. That's the big complaint here. They can't spy on your internet traffic with its local, so you just route through a single data center in Canada and then it's perfectly legal. I mean, I don't know if that's exactly what's happening, but yeah, no, that's completely makes perfect sense. That's what I'm saying. Like, we have these laws against the government spying on you. They're so lax, I could come up with plot holes through them. And I'm not paid to do so. I just come up with ways through rules as a hobby. Do you really think if a government agency paid billions and billions and billions of dollars to hire people for thousands and thousands of dollars, that collectively they're not going to figure it out? They're not going to find a way to sidestep the rule? No, it's not that strong of a rule. And again, it's not even a conspiracy thing. I'm not like, oh, they're evil. If I was in that position and paid that money, I hate to break it to you, I would just do it. It's the rule says don't do this. I will follow the rule in the fucking letter. I can't read the book if it's in this room. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go read that book. It's not a complicated rule. Like, I don't understand half of these laws. That's what I'm saying. I've literally just gotten to the point. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I don't care. Good or evil, whatever your opinion is on any spectrum, on any topic, I ultimately don't care. What I do care, though, is if you do it incompetently. Just be competent. I fucking hate incompetency. And I'm genuinely driven to higher levels of anger and annoyance off of stories of, oh my God, can you believe the government did this, than the actual idea of the government doing it. Because it's like, well, no shit. It is in the government's interest to do it. There's a law against them doing it, but laws are held to the letter of the law. If the law's not written well, they're just going to sidestep it. No shit. The law should not have been, assuming the law is anywhere close to this, I'm making the assumption off of how it works. If the law should not be, you can't spy on your own people. The law should be, you cannot act on information that pertains to non-international. You get what I'm saying? It shouldn't be you can't know it. It should be you're not allowed to act on it. At that point, we already know they have the information anyways. At that point, they're having to try to see if they can gather information a different way. He essentially forces them to do the legit spying again. You get what I'm saying? Like, you already know they're gonna have the information. Make it illegal to not act on that information. That's how certain things work in lower cop settings. If you do not gather the information legally, then any information you gather based upon what you gathered illegally is not admissible in court. Take that law and apply it to intelligence and other things. Don't say you can't spy on locals. What? No, that's never going to work. There's nothing to enforce that. How do you prove, unless you catch them directly, that they're spying on locals? Make them not be able to use the information. They have to prove where they got the information from. Then it makes more sense. But no, the laws are just written goofy. Yeah, everyone's invading your privacy. Jesus, most people are literally opting into sharing all their data because they want their apps. Thank you. Fucking thank you. That was the second thing. I wasn't going to go into that too much, but yeah, even then, what I'm saying is null and void because you can just opt into that. Does everyone remember the period of time when they got annoying fucking emails from all the companies they ever talked to saying, due to some new law in England, we are no longer an opt-out scenario, we're an opt-in. So if you would click this button, please, to opt into whatever, blah, 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 so on and so forth. And everyone's like, why is everyone sending me these emails? Why is everyone sending me these emails? What happened to those emails? Genuine question. What happened to those emails? There's new companies. There's new companies doing new things. Why have all these new companies not had to send out that type of email? They just changed their terms of service. Somewhere in their terms of service is just now changed. By using this product, you are opting in. Something like that. That's all it is. They took one letter, one change in part of their user license agreement to match the law. All those emails were because people had agreed under the previous user license agreement. That's all that was. That's literally all those emails were. They disappeared because every legal department ever just went, all right, let me write in one new line. There you go. We're in compliance with the law. And now everyone opts in. It's not a thing. Someone has a mood? Who has a mood? There's no moods. Are you talking about the one that died? I had to take a desperately needed nap and miss on the last couple hours. Can I buy spy information on my Dwarf? Can you outsource your domestic spying? Reservating your privacy. LinkedIn just got in trouble because it's constantly reading your clipboard. Copy paste the source to a good hentai. LinkedIn wants that information. Who's Lorbon Dark Trade? Nutwood, hee. Dirt Trade. Mostly don't give a shit. It's when I mostly don't just give out nonsense to waste your time. Not just Norwood. This is Paradise Nutwood. Facebook was selling that information. Nutwood, not Norwood. Why autocorrect? Got you, Bass. Assuming direct control. Energy strategist is less depressing news. I ordered a studio quality microphone and plan on starting up my own little voice acting business. Nice. If you just give them gibberish, they kind of just lose time just by trying. I just want to explore space and make games. Oh my. Dr. Phineas is fighting someone while drunk again. I can't stop that. Opt into something sucking the data out of your phone. You've been talking so long that the mood ended and you made a figurine. Suck. Yeah, no, I mean, it's, you know, kind of may have gotten hyped over it. But like I said, it's weird how many times you bring something like that up and everyone's like, well, no. And it's like, the government's not supposed to do that. I hate the phrase. I hate the phrase supposed. That is never, ever going to work. If the government, in this case, the American government, did what it was supposed to do, we wouldn't have needed the Constitution. If the governments did what they were supposed to do, we would never have needed the Magna Carta. Governments do not do what they're supposed to do. Governments do what they need to do, what they feel they need to do. And if in any way, shape, or form, anyone in that entire chain feels they need to do something that is counter to what they are supposed to do, if they can, they will. That just makes sense. Good, bad, or indifferent, I'm not saying that this is what they should be doing. I'm just saying this is what they're going to do. It's not a conspiracy theory, just that makes sense for government. If I'm supposed to fill out 3 forms, but I can only stop extreme unnecessary fucking straw man here. But if I would need to fill out 3 pieces of paper to stop you murdering someone in the next 2 seconds, should I fill out the pieces of paper or should I stop you murdering someone? And again, this is not a legit argument. This is a straw man. I understand it's fucking stupid. But while the scale is different, my statement remains the same. That is just an argument of efficiency. There's so many other things to bypass. Every law just adds in more bureaucracy. Every way to make a job easier finds a way to bypass bureaucracy. It's just a gigantic war of bureaucracy. Do you or do you not have to follow a rule? Hell, they do this in football. If talking about governments is too legit, they do this in football. How many times has the New England Patriots gotten in trouble and gotten out of trouble by saying, we did not read the rule that way? The New England Patriots plays football with the rules read as written. Everyone else seems to play the football with the rules read as intended. That's really, like, this always works. Whoever plays any competition, government, games, what have you, whoever does the rules read as written is going to win. Whoever does the rules read as intended is not going to win. That's exactly what it is. Goes back to the argument I had with about Monopoly. A bunch of people seem to think that you do something on free parking. A bunch of people seem to think that you do something on that you don't do the when you don't buy it. It's called an auction. A bunch of people seem to think you don't do the auction. It's because they learned from someone, not the rules. Don't do something off of someone. If someone tells you what the rule is, probably don't need to listen to them. You should read the rule yourself. I don't know how many times I've had someone tell me a rule and I went and looked it up and I was like, that's not the rule. That's not the rule. And no. I think I said way, like over a year and a half ago, one of the rants I'd had about shaving my beard. The United States government had put out what they were going to do in the next, forgetting the numbers now, AR 670-1, and the next regulation for how a soldier has to dress 24/7. They said in this big public thing that they were going to change it so that you had to be clean shaven 24/7, because they noticed that in the current rules, it doesn't say that. The current rules say that you only have to be shaven while in uniform or on duty. So they were going to fix that loophole, and they made all the NCOs read this big brief to everyone about how the rules are going to change, because on day one, if you weren't in accommodation with the new rules, you could not use that as an excuse that you did not know the new rules. So they made the NCOs read this brief out to everyone. The first weekend I didn't shave, because we got the new versions of the new rules and I read them, and they didn't change that rule. They did not change that particular portion of 670-1. They said they were going to, but for whatever reason, they didn't. So that led to so many arguments with ever increasing people in the chain of command. I think it went all the way to the captain of my battery. Was I in the battalion at the time? I think it was the captain of the battery. And he was the only one that actually listened to me. And he was like, no, Dunphy's right. That's not my name. You don't know that. Shh. I've said that before. TikToks have said my last name before too. But anyways, he goes, no, he's right. That's not in the rules, so he doesn't have to. A lot of people would also, like, don't argue against NCOs. Like, don't argue incorrectly. A lot of people seem to think that if you're right about the rules, you don't be a dick about it. They can still get on to you. Like, if one of them gave me a direct order to shave, I would shave. But if they didn't, I wouldn't when I didn't need to. It was very... A lot of people don't read the rules on a lot of things, and it's really weird. Really weird. Read the rules, and everything you do, read the rules. And I'm willing to bet that you will get much further in life. You'll get screwed over by your bosses a lot less. You might be able to get better deals, so on and so forth. Always read the rules. If that is my words of wisdom for this stream, it is always read the rules. Everyone in video games, or everyone in role-playing games, hates a rules lawyer. Everyone hates a rules lawyer. In life, not so much. Everyone hates a rules lawyer when it's against them. Everyone loves a rules lawyer when the rules lawyer is helping them. You're gonna get through life a lot better if you're just a 24/7 rules lawyer. Don't be a Karen, though. Don't do that. Most of them aren't rules lawyers anyways, they're just annoying. But they think they are. Which means they're doing it competently, and that annoys me. It's not the government we need, it's the government we deserve. How many kills has Dr. Phineas gotten credit for? According to Dwarf Therapist, none. The worst part about playing Monopoly is someone that plays by the makeshift rules and doesn't know rules. And never want to learn how to play properly. Read the rules and cities are bad. Got it. Yeah, I forgot about that one from earlier. Cities are bad. The 2 lessons to learn today. Cities are bad and read the rules. I'm gonna write something down. Alright, it's around there. Like that Warhammer Rules tournament. Which Warhammer Rules tournament? I mean, there are a lot of them. It is history time? This is true. We are near the end. However, like, what happened with my recordings? This last recording is gonna be like 30 minutes if I just end now. So I got like 20 minutes, so I'll bring, do I have any project I'm trying to finish right now? Beds, that's it. I need to install some beds. Is that an artifact bed? What was that? No, it's just bitter and orange. Of course it was. Gotta have a bitter orange bed. That's right. That's why we're not doing anything. We're sieged. And they're exploding? Do they have like pet forgotten beasts? They have hounds. I'm guessing the hounds are exploding, but not hurting each other. What is that? Is that steam? Hound of Zephon boiling extract. Are necromancers allowed to make forgotten beasts? Hold on. That sounds like bullshit. A small feathered quadruped that has 2 broad horns. Its charcoal feathers are downy. This night creature was first created by the dwarven necromancer Zephon Flicker Cloister of Orb Plunges after the horrible experiments on dogs and Boat Dimpled in the year 62. He is weak and very small, but he just shits explosions everywhere. Yeah, no, there you go. It might as well be a fucking forgotten beast. Necromancer basically made a little baby forgotten beast. This is the T virus. This is a dog T virus that shits steam. And I'm guessing they don't hurt themselves. It doesn't appear to work on any undead. I don't hear constant, we're dying noises. They don't appear to give a fuck. I don't even think these dogs can control it. I think just like every couple of ticks, they just poop steam. Look at my guys fishing with no cares in the world. Also, we have a lot of fish. We should probably stop fishing. What is that? 4,870 raw mussels. Let's start cooking them, I guess. It's amazing how much you get when the river doesn't freeze. Oh, that poor bastard, whatever was over there. The Hound of Zephon gores a capybara on the right front paw, shattering the bone. The Hound of Zephon kicks the capybara in the neck with his left rear foot. It's caught in a burst. 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 Yeah, they just keep exploding. I think it said 2 weeks ago, steam-powered dogs. We traded excessive war beasts with excessive necromancers. Oh my god, there are so many of them. Well, we're eating mussels for a while. Capybara! No! Wait, are the necromancers still present on the map? Oh, good. He brought the water buffalo back to life, I think. No? Are you undead? We have so many invaders and undead. Holy shit, it keeps going. I don't think I see the necromancer. There is a stingray, though. Run, capybara. Run from your life. Mr. Fishy. No. All right. I had moved everyone downstairs. There's no sense doing individual dining rooms, I suppose, but I think we're also good with what we have. What is your thought? Satisfied remembering receiving water delight after watching performance, felt euphoric due to inebriation. I don't have enough time to do a major project. We kind of half finished our other projects over the course of the last hour or so. No, that was mostly just talking, but I don't... Trying to think of something I could finish up in the last 20. We have booze going. We have plants going. We are not allowing the kitchen to cook the plants. By the way, we have rice. Does that mean we're making rice wine? Rice beer. Why isn't it rice wine? Am I crazy? Shouldn't that be rice wine? Rice beer? That can't taste good. Beer means you put in hops, right? Don't you not do that with rice? Isn't rice some weird other mush? Maybe it gets hops. Is rice wine a beer? Rice beer pot. And it's brown? No. Good to know that homemade forgotten beasts are now a thing. Good to know necromancer experience can have magical powers, so there are mass producible forgotten beasts. Because I'm pretty sure the boiling dogs can reproduce. What, do you think I should try to catch them and breed them? But yeah, you're right. There seems to be multiple of them, so I'm guessing they could breed. Is it the Qs that are doing this? Meng female. Meng male. Yeah, they have different genders. I don't necessarily think they're undead. So yes, they're breedable. That would suck in combat though, because I guarantee you as soon as I try to use one, it'd explode in my face, and I would be affected. There's your rice beer. At the site totalwine.com. There is a rice beer. Holy shit. Sapporo. I'm an idiot. I've seen it before. I don't know why I forgot. I've seen it before. All right. When I'm editing this, I'm gonna have to remember to just expunge all references to me claiming that there's no such thing as rice beer.
No one has to know. Spoons are a better tool to eat cake with. Changed my mind. Why? As in, why would I change your mind? I mean, I agree with you. What do people eat cake with? I'm guessing like a regular full fluff cake would be a knife and a fork, right? I always have like ice cream with it, so I just do a spoon. I always do like one of those ice cream cakes, or like the cake with the ice cream on it and things. So I just always use a spoon. But I'm guessing a full fluff one would be, what, a fork? You can still just use it with a spoon. No, I agree with you. I'm not changing your mind. Admittedly, I don't necessarily know if I put that into practice, but yeah, no. It's cake. You have no real need for a knife. The idea of the fork is to stab it, but I mean, if it's cooked right, you don't need to stab it. It goes. It's soft and fluffy. What are the Horde of capital H? Those are the weird, those are Nemesis. Those are T-103 Nemesi. That's the weird, Eteb's Eye thing. Eteb's Eye Hammerman. A small one-eyed humanoid. It has 4 short horns. Its charcoal skin is waxy. The night creature was first created by the dwarven necromancer Eteb scale trades of orb plunges at their horrible experiments on humans and dabbler defense in the year 102. Real question is, why are none of the dwarves turned? All the dwarves turned to corpses. Humans turned into weird tiny cyclopses of doom, and all the doggies turn into explosion boiling clouds. And what is this? A feathered blob. It has 3 short tails. Its charcoal feathers are downy. The night creature was first created accidentally by the dwarven necromancer Eteb scale tribes of orb plunges at their horrible experiments gone wrong on dogs. So, if you get a dog that succeeds, it becomes the dog tyrant that shits out gas, and the failure dog tyrant experiment turns it into a bird. That just makes sense. Many Cyclops, demons, and boiling dogs, because the dwarves are already perfect. Yes. Oh my, a failed boiling dog. Typically people use forks, but I find spoons cup the fluffy cake better and prevent it from falling off for a fork. Yeah, no, I kind of agree with you. That's a bed. It's supposed to be a bed. Yeah, no, I agree. Is caps lock on? Give me like 30 beds. If my big issue I suspect right now is that while underground, I cannot easily grow trees. If I get rid of this farm and dig it down, say 7, 10, 20 Z levels, I could probably just grow a tree in that. That might be what I have to end up doing. Either that or just get, cave trees, but what kind of weirdo gets trees from a cave? Crazy people, that's who. Are any of those farmers using the farmer guild, by the way? What is that open to? No. Citizens only. That way, any citizen can go to the farmers guild and learn the ways of farming. Who is running away scared from what?
The Dwarf has gotten an idea and is now secretly taking action. The Dwarf has claimed the workshop.
Well, isn't that nice of him? What is he claiming? Did he grab stone? He grabbed stone first. All right, stone crafter. He's grabbing something else. Let's do this. We'll basically bring this to the end of this mood, read the artifact, and then I will stop the recording. And we can, 1, get everyone's description who hasn't been described. I'm assuming some of you would still want that. And 2, if you want, we can go into legend mode. Oh boy, another mood. Oh boy. Please don't need more. Let me guess, you need wood. Because I just ran out of wood. Skelly, shining bars of metal. What the fuck told you we had shining bars of metal? Literally wants a metal bar. I don't have wood to smelt. I just used the last of the wood making beds. Why the fuck? Where are you expecting me to get a metal bar from? I don't think I can. I think he's dead now. Who is it having a mood? Because he ain't gonna get his bar. I can't even smelt one. Who is this? Someone we care about? Unnamed Fisher Dwarf. All right, cool, whatever. I'm gonna save it here. With the revelation that this dwarf is going to die when we come back. For those of you who have been watching on YouTube, thank you all so much for watching. Everyone have a good night and a great weekend.